So, TikTok isn't exactly known for its wealth of intelligent and reasonably minded individuals. So let's face it, TikTok is basically a huge dumpster fire full of morons seeking viral fame by participating in the next big stupid craze. You know, not like YouTube has ever done any idiotic challenges, right? Well, maybe it's a generational thing, or I might just show my age here. Who remembers Vine? Anyway, as someone who hasn't even got TikTok downloaded to their phone, I decided to dive in and take a look at the dumbest and sometimes deadliest things to have trended on TikTok. Oh, and yes, I actually had to install this app for research purposes, obviously. And do let me know if you enjoy this listing format, as it's slightly different to what I usually do. And a big thanks to the recent subs and the regulars. We've managed to tip over 400 subscribers, which is pretty cool, and I hope you guys had a good Christmas and a happy new year. So on to the first stupid challenge. Yes, the infamous corn on the cob challenge. I'm sure everyone and their nan knows about this one, although if you tried it, there's a 50% chance your nan has more teeth than you do now. Also, I'm eating my words, and teeth with this entry. This challenge actually originates on YouTube all the way back to the Stone Ages, 2012. The challenge picked up a small amount of hype around this time, but ultimately hit back some years later in 2015 when the infamous video was uploaded to the subreddit Instant Regret, which showed the woman ripping out a large piece of her hair due to the drill latching onto her head. The challenge did produce a couple of videos showing some of the possible outcomes of doing such a stupid stunt. The challenge peaked in popularity when Jason Derulo, who after being a hugely popular musician, took his fame over to TikTok and done the challenge and chipped his 2 front teeth, which was obviously all for entertainment. As far as I can find, there haven't been any notable incidents after the viral trend died, a fairly mild one for the first stupid stunt. The Skull Breaker Challenge. Yeah, you know this is a bad one. This one is a prank and fun for all the family. Essentially, this one is a simple one. 3 people are needed in total to perform the Skull Breaker. So you have one victim placed in between 2 really good friends, and the guy in the middle is asked to jump while the other 2 friends kick the backs of the victim's legs, ultimately leading to a swift meeting with the victim's head or skull to the floor. I mean, the harder the floor, the better, presumably. It's kind of like the old lean down and push prank from years back, just way worse. It's just so stupid, and it's the sort of challenge which will eventually lead to somebody dying, in which it did, and apparently not just once. There have been many teens that have lost their lives to this challenge, and potentially hundreds or thousands that have sustained injuries as a direct result from this challenge. You can always count on grievous bodily harm to create carnage. So on to the Devious Lick Challenge, or otherwise known as literally fucking stealing. Yep, in this one, the challenge was to steal weird items, mainly based in schools. Some of the items being stolen got pretty out of hand, like stealing soap dispensers, monitors, and even the head teacher's car door. And there's so many more ridiculous examples. So what happens if you film yourself literally stealing various equipment from school property? Well, apart from some sick internet clout, you could also get that sweet criminal charge too, as plenty of students found it. It's one thing participating in dumb challenges, but this is just recording yourself doing a crime. I mean, come on kids, this is really dumb. The Dry Scoop Challenge. Now this is an odd one, as to the untrained eye it's hard to understand why this is stupid. But to put it simply, the idea was to take dry protein powder or pre-workout and just eat that shit straight without dilution or any form of mixing. Now again, on the surface you may be thinking, how bad can it possibly be? And isn't it pretty much just a gym rat version of the Cinnamon Challenge? Well, kind of yes and kind of no. First, the Cinnamon Challenge was also really stupid anyway, but besides from that, it seemed like the biggest issue with consuming such a high and concentrated dose of caffeine, which is usually present in these powders, can result in fast or irregular heartbeats and even cardiac arrest, which could lead to death, which isn't ideal to be honest, even for mad gains. The body takes up to 45 minutes to metabolize caffeine, and dry scooping doesn't allow for the time required. But the theory was put into motion when famously Brittany Portillo suffered a heart attack when doing the challenge, but somehow managed to survive luckily. But it's safe to say that this was enough to slow down the trend for such a dumb challenge. The Benadryl Challenge. Yes, a whole challenge based around overdosing on an over-the-counter drug. Firstly, Benadryl was a drug known to battle plenty of different things, from the common cold to allergies. I don't think induced hallucinations for children was on the marketing plan for Johnson & Johnson. Honestly, I really don't think I need to explain the utter stupidity of taking too much of a literal any drug. But yes, when you take too much of a drug, it will have adverse side effects, such as hallucination and or death. So far, there has been one confirmed death as a direct result of the Benadryl challenge, which was unfortunately a 15-year-old girl, but there are plenty of reports of teens being treated in hospitals all over. What more can possibly be said about this challenge? kids don't overdose, I guess. The cha-cha slide. No, not that one. This one. So let's add encourage reckless driving to the list. So this trend is obviously based around the classic party song by DJ Casper, known as the Cha-Cha Slide, which quite frankly needs no introduction. The TikTok community managed to switch things up and create the Cha-Cha Slide challenge, where you would drive your car and move the car sharply in the direction the music suggests. This challenge actually picked up quite a bit of traction, mind the pun. I can't see if there are any major incidences from this challenge, but there are plenty of near misses obviously, which are recorded in hopes of going viral. I'm not trying to say we're all saints when we're driving, but I've got to say, I've never allowed the words of a song to control the direction of my steering wheel turns. Such a dumb challenge. I just want to give an honourable mention, if you can call it that. Now this was a real close second, but has been thrown to the side. But at the time, it was unbelievably shockingly dumb and gross, to be honest. It had the old and the weak wincing at the thought of it. The coronavirus challenge. The idea behind the challenge was to lick public toilets in order to try and catch the virus, which is just a great idea. Where it was a matter of time until somebody came on the receiving end of the more sinister symptoms of the virus. Lars, who was a TikTok influencer at the time, licked the edge of a toilet bowl and was ultimately hospitalised due to the virus becoming life-threatening at that point. In the midst of the literal pandemic, you can always count on the stupidity of the human race to shine through. So number 1, man, this is a great contender for the Darwinian Awards. It's a real spotlight on some true idiocy, the Blackout Challenge. This challenge is so unbelievably reckless, it has claimed at least 20 lives, and some kids are even as young as 8 years old. The idea of the challenge is to choke themselves to the point of achieving a high. Meanwhile, you lose consciousness and black out. It's insane that this is even happening. If the brain is without oxygen for more than 3 minutes, you risk permanent brain damage, or worse, you slipping into a coma, or just straight up death. These types of things tend to bring up the blame game. TikTok and other platforms should be nipping these trends in the bud quicker than they are. This is a trend that's been ongoing for months, even up to just a month prior to this video, December 2022. There will always be stupid people in the world, and with the internet being accessible worldwide, they will have the biggest platform in history. We can expect new trends to pop up and old ones to return through the years. Let's just hope the new generation can learn from the current generation's stupid trends and do better. Yeah, Rob. Probably not. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed listening to my words, smash like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment on what you'd like to see next. Bye bye.